Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 2 of this NHL 22 Edmonton Oilers franchise mode here in Oil Country on my channel. If you guys missed the last episode, head up into that top corner of the video right now. There will be a card with a link to the playlist. And if you do enjoy, make sure to show your support by dropping a like, subscribing, and hitting notifications to never miss when I upload. So, last episode, we got through pretty much the entire 2022-23 season. We got right to the end of the draft, and we were able to land a couple pretty decent players. Just looking at our current kind of situation here with unsigned players, we've got quite a few good ones. Obviously, Maxime Lizin as well as Kasper Hultinen are both going to be very good players in the future. They've got some great X factors on them as well, so that's going to be really nice. And yeah, apart from that, Edward Sale should be a really good player as well. And we'll see about the rest of them. So yeah, not too bad. Yoansu, of course, was an elite goalie as well. So hopefully he will develop into something good. But today we've got a lot of expiring contracts to deal with. But before we do that, let's get into some comments here. So starting things off, Megan Fanjoy said, I love your videos, helps me with my franchise mode team. Can't wait to see how you handle the cap salary since the Oilers have a bunch of high paid players. So yes, of course, that is definitely what we're going to be focusing on today and into future episodes. But moving on, Zach said, I like the one season format. I would appreciate a little more in depth on the rosters and special teams before the season sim. It felt really rushed. So that is noted, and we will pay a little more attention to that here in this episode as well. Tommy Boulet was wondering, he said, I was wondering, could we download your roster and what is the name of it? Unfortunately, I haven't released the roster yet that I'm currently playing with just because I'm still adding created players. It is a lot of work to create. There's like borderline 100 missing prospects in the game, or that are not in the game that should be in the game. So I'm slowly working my way towards getting those guys added to the game. And once those are all those players are added and in my roster, then I will publish it and it'll be available for you guys, but it is a work in progress still. And finally, Scott Payne said, you should be playing the games, and I'm going to disagree with you, Scott, just because I think we can build a team that simulates wins and simulates winning a cup. Because I really do think just with the main core of this team, McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Hopkins, Puljujarvi, Holloway, like those guys are going to be good enough to get us a cup eventually. I think it's really just more so a matter of time before we really get there. So that pretty much wraps it up for the comments. But yeah, this should be a good episode as we get into managing this team, and it is going to be a bit of a tough year for extensions and things like that, but I think we can manage it. So let's get started here. And if you guys don't know what the rule of 85 is, I highly suggest you use it in your franchise mode. So essentially, you're just going to be taking whatever your player is asking for. You're not going to touch the years, because if you touch the years, then they'll say the contract duration wasn't right. Why didn't you change my money? It'll say something like that. So leave the years requested. Go to the contract money, go 0.85 into your calculator, 0.85 times whatever amount of money they're looking for. So 6.95 for Joe Pavelski. 85% of 6.95 comes out to 5.9075. So that would essentially be a $5.925 million contract. And that's what we would offer Pavelski. And usually, like most of the time, I would say like 90% of the time, players will accept the 85% contract range. Pavelski was great for the team when he played for the Oilers here. Obviously, 19 points, 19 games. He was amazing. 3 points in 6 playoff games. Not bad, but of course, McDavid and Draisaitl totally bombed that too. So moving on to Evan Bouchard, and at his 9.175, we're looking at a $7.8 million contract for the next 5 seasons. I think that's a really solid contract price for Evan Bouchard for a bit of a bridge deal here till he's 28. I think he's going to be a superstar by then, so we're definitely going to do that. All right, on to Jesse Puljujarvi. We're going to offer a $5.85 million contract here. $5.825 million contract for the next 2 seasons for Pulju. Apart from that, Dumoulin, I would like to sign, but I also do think that, we have other guys coming up the system that might make it easier for us not to. Holy, we've got a lot of defensemen expiring. Like, literally Barry and Kulak are the only two not. So, let's see. We got Barry, Bouchard, Kulak, Dumoulin, Murray, Broberg. What about in the system? We got Lizen. See, I think we could go out and sign defensemen for cheaper, in my opinion. And not only that, but I also want Maxime Lizen playing in the AHL to start off his career. I want to give him 1 season down there. And I think Broberg's going to be fine for kind of stepping up and filling in that role. But really, overall, it is a little bit of a tricky spot we're in just because, we already got, if we sign Dumoulin, we already got 3 left-handed defensemen and we're set. Dumoulin is a little bit expensive. We'd be looking at a $3.875 million contract for the next 4 seasons. So until he's 35, we will very likely be offloading Dumoulin before then. And then as far as Ryan Murray goes, I honestly don't think we're going to re-sign him just because he wants really a decent amount of money that I am not honestly willing to pay. So that's our defense. As far as goaltending goes, of course, we got to sign Stuart Skinner, but we're going to offer him an 8-year, $1.5 million deal. That's just so cheap for a backup goalie, especially one that has the potential that Skinner has. Why wouldn't we do that? Right wingers are good. Left wing wise, we're definitely going to re-sign Benson, as well as hopefully, guys like Clem Costin and a few others like that. I mean, Costin's super cheap as well, $1.9 million. Let's just do 0.85 at that. 1.625, not bad. The next 2 seasons, that should be good. I mean, hopefully he signs it. As far as Janmark goes, I'm going to wait on him just to make sure we have enough money for guys like McLeod and a few others expiring here. Ryan McLeod is going to be a little bit more expensive, but again, if we go 8 years, I think we can get him at about $2.5 million. So let's try that. Hopefully that will go through. Of course, we do have to pay guys like Dylan Holloway coming up here and a few other decent names. Derek Ryan, I mean, I guess we could re-sign. He should be... Let's try $1 million for the next 2 years. And Devin Shore. I mean, worst case scenario, we have to trade those $1 million contracts, which isn't really that big a deal. So, all right, let's advance here. I mean, actually, those are all pre-re-sign phase contracts, so that's fine. That works, and hopefully we get re-sign-ins on just about all those. So, all right, we've got all of our AHL coaches expiring here. So he wants, okay. Yeah, let's offer this guy the head coach role, Rodrigo McGinn, I believe. Yeah, he should be our AHL head coach. All right, after McGinn, then we'll go with Benural, and then, of course, Durocher. We'll offer a little bit more money too. All right, and then for scouts, do we have any expiring scouts? No, we do not. Perfect. All right, so as we get into this, Lavoie, Rodrigue, I forgot to sign, but we do get Pavelski, Ryan, Puljujärvi, Skinner, Shore, Bouchard, McLeod, Dumoulin, Benson, Closton. We got everybody there pretty much. So the only guys left that I forgot to sign here were some, like lower end kind of players here. Guys that aren't really going to be a make or break style of player overall, but a guy like Lavoie, I would really like to sign up for a little bit longer. He's actually would be on a really good deal there. All right. After that, of course, Jake Chason we want to sign. We do actually want to re-sign a couple of these guys still. Maybe not like Byron Murray or Janmark, but definitely like Cuckoo just to add a little more depth to the minor league there. Same with Kemp. I think we're going to pass on Razanen and Lindewall just because they're really low-end players. Like, we don't need to re-sign those guys. So we'll sign Rodrigue. And then apart from that, we've got a bunch of unsigned guys here that I want in the system. So, of course, Maxime Lizen, Kai Halttunen, Edward Sale, and that's about it for now. I mean, we're going to wait on guys like Hillen, Voloshenko, even Leslie. I mean, if they're not getting good play time, which, like, I would say, yeah, like 10 minutes on Datsuk is not great playtime, or Hillen either. So we'll see. If they aren't getting enough playtime next year, then we will definitely look to sign them up, get them into the team. And then just as far as all our goalies go here, we got enough for now, as long as Rodrigue resigns. So yeah, we will also have to probably go out and re-sign or just sign up a couple extra defensemen here as well. I probably want 2 more, especially once what's his name here? Once Ryan Murray walks, then yeah, we're going to want a little bit extra to kind of add on here. Left wing wise, you know, it looks weak right now, but it's really not. I mean, Benson might be in the team. We could trade away Warren Fogel's contract because that's really not a great one. But Petrov, Schaefer, Sale, all in the system. Those guys should be good. I'm really excited to see what they can do. And then center-wise, of course, we have like 3 different centers here that can play on the left wing as well. So, I mean, we'll have one of those guys on the wing for sure, maybe 2. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But overall, you know, our center core is actually quite solid too. Voloshenko, if he can grow, will be a nice addition. But that is the team for now. Let's just advance a little bit further into the re-sign phase. We get McGinn, we get Benural, and we do not get DeRoche. So that's fine. But Slater Cuckoo rejects, Rodrigue and Lavoie, Kemp, and Chason, Haltonen, Sale, and Lizen all sign. Okay, so literally just Slater Cuckoo didn't resign, so that's fine. And we will go and offer him a little bit more money. So 9.5 for the next 2 years. All right, so he's not signing. Honestly, for a guy like Ryan Murray, he's not a poor fit for our team, but he's also not a great fit either. So let's see if is Tyson Barrie like best buddies with Ryan Murray? No, he's good buddies, so might not hurt to actually re-sign Ryan Murray for around that price, just because then we're not really chasing defensemen so much. But if we can get him for like 2.2 million for the next 2 years or 3 years, that would be good. You don't feel like that's enough money, you greedy bugger. All right, 2.5 for the next 2 years. Come on, Ryan. All right, so we do get Ryan Murray back there as well. We got $3.4 million remaining to play around with, and we will indeed need to re-sign at least 1 or 2 kind of players here that, well, now we'll have to go for, 2 defensemen just because Slater Cuckoo didn't re-sign. So we're going to just clear our trade block. We don't really want to make a lot of trades or anything like that. We are more so just focused on trying to add competitive pieces that'll help out this roster in the long term, as well as the short term, of course. Like, that's why we got Joe Pavelski and some of these slightly older guys. Like, Hopkins is 30 now, and, you know, like, Barry's 31. So we are definitely going to have to, we're on a bit of a crunch timeline for really trying to win with the current group we have. But Timo Meyer goes to free agency. He would be one heck of a player to add to this team, but I really don't think we could provide the trade pieces required to pick him up. Of course, San Jose is interested, but we would have to clear like $7 million, which is difficult to do for sure. So do we push for a Timo Meyer? I mean, he would be one heck of a power forward to add to this lineup. I wouldn't mind getting him, but at the same time, he's expensive. And of course, we don't currently have the salary cap options to deal with that. Apart from that, who else is, you know, like kind of high volume, potentially really good players? I mean, don't get me wrong, a Nolan Patrick, if he's still playing, wouldn't be terrible. Cody Glass would be all right. It's just there's not really a lot of guys that I look at and go, yes, we have to sign this player up because they are totally worth it. Like, I'm not really seeing that a lot throughout here. Maybe Trevor Moore's $6 million still, so he is undersized as well. Well, not super undersized. He's, 5'10", a little bit small, but all right. I think we are just going to push mainly right now for the Timo Meyer deal. If we can somehow figure out how to do this, it would be really, really funny if we could, you know, send Joe Pavelski back to the Sharks. That would be something. That'd be something. But really, do they have? They got 13 million in cap space. You can't tell me they don't have the means to pay Timo Meyer. So just straight up, Timo Meyer, straight up for. They want anybody but Pavelski. Oh my god. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Joe Pavelski is one of the few pieces I am actually willing to offer in this deal. And then if we go Pavelski and Foegele, that's not going to be enough. But if we potentially go with, let's say a 2026 first. Let's try this. Let's try this. All right. So does this trade go through? This is a blockbuster trade without a doubt. They're not really getting prospects back, but if this works, we'll take it. And value isn't there whatsoever, so let's ditch Foegele, and instead we will go with, they want any goalie prospects, they want any forward prospects, literally just anybody. What if we go Jonas Hillen? I know we just drafted him, and you know, sometimes grinders do end up turning out. I highly doubt that Hillen is going to turn out, but I wonder, could we go Pavelski and Hillen just straight up like that? If this deal goes through, I will absolutely take it. And it doesn't, so let's add a first rounder, and then if that doesn't go through, then we're not doing this because that's just too big a price to pay for a restricted free agent that might not sign with our team. So all right, so when we try this, still doesn't go through. Not gonna lie, San Jose, I mean, if I were Timo Meyer, I wouldn't really want to play for your team either, unfortunately. So, yeah, who else do you like? We only have 2 contracts on this team that are bigger than that. I'm not trading Puljujärvi. It just doesn't make sense. The only other way I would be willing to do this deal is if we sent like a. Is Reed Schaefer going to grow 7 ratings in the next 3 years? I'm hoping so. So let's go Lavoie along with this. This is such a big package to trade for Timo Meyer. It's actually a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, I really do think Timo Meyer could be one of the missing pieces to turn this team into like a serious winner. So let's try this. This is the final deal we're offering San Jose. If they don't take it, they don't get it. So, all right, you're done, San Jose. That's about the best option we're going to give you. So, too bad. Sometimes you can actually find decent RFA kind of trades like that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen today. All right, so something has caught my eye here, guys, and it is that Spencer Knight is on the trade block in Florida. He's only a $4.5 million goalie for the next 3 years, which is really good. So, in exchange, I don't want to send Skinner back to the minors because he's a backup goalie, but I am also wondering, is there like, sure, Spencer Knight's 85 rated. He's a little bit lower than Jack Campbell. But I'm wondering, can we toss some blockbuster deal across here that ends up resulting in like us getting Spencer Knight? Because I would love to get Spencer Knight. But don't get me wrong, Jack Campbell was quite good with 41 wins this year. But I really do think a younger goalie wouldn't hurt this team. Campbell's good. But only an .895 save percentage is a little bit questionable. So let's try to see. Well, let's just see what options there are for trades here. Second and third, second and third, second and third. Do we pick up more Montreal picks or do we pick up more Buffalo picks? What do we want here? I think we want more Montreal picks. So let's do this. And worst case scenario, we end up trading Jack Campbell for what just becomes some half decent prospects, because usually we don't miss too badly on the draft. So let's go with this. I know that is a big deal, but let's see what Florida is willing to offer in exchange here for a guy like Spencer Knight, who is an elite goalie. He's going to be one hell of a goalie, but they want a lot of defense. Wow. Or Joe Pavelski straight up. I don't think we're going to do that. I think if anything, Dumoulin and Murray would be on my block, but I don't quite want to do that either. I'd prefer to, if anything, I'd prefer to move Ryan Murray. So if we go Murray, they don't want any prospects as well, which is a little bit frustrating because we have lots. So if we just went Ryan Murray, and like, what about a first round pick? Because like, I could care less about first round picks. We can trade for those when we need them. That should totally be enough to swing the deal. All right, so let's try this. It's a big trade, but really Spencer Knight will be the goalie of the future for this team if we pick him up here. So it does go through. Beautiful trade, and we will take it because I think Spencer Knight's going to be great. So we do move Murray. We clear up a little bit of cap space. We make a couple moves here and there that do actually result in what I think is our team getting better and better for the future. So now, with all of that in the bag, all of those moves done, let's just assess the team and then go make our free agent signings. All right, so what our team is still in need of is probably a couple depth forwards, as well as what I'm going to kind of mark here as just like a 6th, 7th defenseman kind of role here. So first things first, Pius Sutter. I'm not looking for like first line guys necessarily, looking for more like 3rd, 4th kind of line players that can play those positions and still be good. So how about like, yeah, a Craig Smith would not be a particularly bad option. So let's try getting him and see who else we can potentially get. All right, so 1.75 million for Craig Smith, not bad. And then 1.7 million for like Miles Wood. Yeah, that would also be a really good one. All right, so let's go with those two. And I think those will be good. 2 years for Miles Wood. Again, that's fine. And then after that, hey, Michael McLeod, not bad either, but he fits in more of like our top 6. Milan Lucic, we could go with him, bring the Luch back, but no, we're not going to do that. We are going to go to defense, and we're going to look for some nice and cheap defenders here that can play top 6 roles. So maybe not Jack Johnson, maybe Olli Mata, actually. He might not be bad. All right, let's go with Olli Mata. He's going to be a little bit more expensive, but really not a bad deal at all either. All right, so we'll sign him 3 years, 1.825 million. And then I just want to sign like 1 or 2 prospect kind of defensemen, like ones that aren't going to cost us necessarily as restricted free agents, but ones that can, you know, potentially play in our team here. So I'm thinking like a Nazin might not be bad. All right, let's go. Yeah, sure. Let's go with Linus Nazin. He is 25, but screw it. All right, so we'll go with Nazin, and then after that, anybody else that's like a half decent prospect that isn't super expensive. How about like, yeah, Scott Perunovich wouldn't be too bad either. So let's try getting him. He is interested in a 2-way contract, so let's do that. All right, so there you go. That is going to be it for our signings. We're not going to pursue anybody else. Hopefully St. Louis doesn't match that deal, but I assume they will. And let's get going here. So that's 5 potential players: Mata, Smith, Wood, Perunovich, and Nazin, who all could potentially be joining the Oilers here. And we'll see what happens. So As we advance a little further, we get Nazin, and okay, we get Craig Smith, Olimata. We don't get Miles Wood, but we do get Perunovic. All right, so we're looking for one more depth forward there then, around that $1.7 million kind of range. Actually, we could potentially go with a little bit of a better signing. Maybe we try to buff up the defense a little more, but I don't know if we're really going to see anybody that quite fits the way I want. So Caleb Jones would be cool as like an ex-Oiler, but how about a Connor Sherry? That wouldn't be too bad, but again, I'm a little hesitant on that. Andre Cash is still fairly young, but not a great system fit by the looks of it. Patrick Holmquist, no, not quite. I'm looking for like that all forwards kind of system fit, potentially, so. You know what, let's go with Pius Sutter. Or Suter, however you say his name. All right, so for $1.875 million for the next 2 years, I think Sutter would be a really good signing. And yeah, I think that is definitely going to be beneficial for this team, depth-wise, in the short term here anyways. So let's keep going here a little bit, and hopefully we get Suter. And we do indeed. All right, so our team is ready to go for next season now. All right, guys, so just before we actually go in and look at the team, I've kind of done a quick overview of them. Just taking a look to see how things are looking. The team looks phenomenal this year. I think they're going to be really good. And apart from that, I mean, we do need to send Lizen down. But we're just a little short on the subs right now. So that's all I'm looking for here in free agency. We're 45 out of 50 contracts there, so not bad. We could potentially get a guy like Paul Stastny, who's somehow 85 rated. But I don't think, I mean, hey, you know what? Screw it. If we can get Paul Stastny for that cheap, we're going to do it. 2.1 million, like seriously, that's a really good contract price. All right, and then apart from that, I literally just want the highest rated player we can find in here. Ronnie Attard, you know what? 79 rated at 24. Let's sign him to a minimum. And apart from that, that should be good. Like, I think we're ready to go there. So, all right, so let's just advance a couple days, get those guys signed up here. We're not going to take any trades. Please sign with us, Paul Stastny. And we do get Stastny and Attard there. So, that's perfect. All right, so roster move-wise, Stastny's coming up, Attard's coming up, and then, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, so if that's the case, then in the NHL, we're going to send Devin Shore down. All right, perfect. All right, guys, so something that is a little frustrating that I just noticed here as I was looking through the team is that almost all our young defense that are coming up the system to play, such as Broberg, Bouchard, they're pinch and cycle, right? You see the pinch and cycle kind of setup. Barry's even pinch and cycle. It's a good system, except for the fact that Maxime Lizen, who we just drafted, is a pinch and shoot. Shoot, of course, right? Right, of course he's a pinch and shoot. So it's a little frustrating. Something I think I am going to do here is add a couple of X factors onto certain D-men. Like, I don't know if we'll add like maybe shut down onto Dumoulin. That's about it. Olimata isn't going to get one because that's still a plus, very plus pairing right there. And then Broberg, like, I mean, he used to, I don't know why his speed is so low rated in this game. So maybe we just give him shut down and like Heat Seeker, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, like apart from that, Broberg used to be way faster, and then he got injured. So, yeah, players in here like the 85 plus kind of guys definitely need some X factors. Like, how is this line a +1 here with Benson, McLeod, and Costin when like Puljujarvi, Stastny, and Yamamoto don't have chemistry? It's because there's no X factors at all. So that's totally the issue with the team. But apart from that, very easily fixable kind of issue. I think these are the lines we're going to run this year. Maybe we go Holloway with Draisaitl and Hopkins, but really I think Holloway is going to be phenomenal with McDavid here, so I think that's what we're going to stick to. Apart from that, you know, Pavelski, of course, should be able to distribute quite well too here, but we don't really have, I don't know, we got quite a few two-way forwards in our top 6 here, which is going to make things easier. I don't know why Puljujarvi is a sniper. Like, he's obviously a two-way forward. Look at his physicality and, like, skating. Like, that's two-way forward if I've seen it right there, but his defense should be better, and that's just a game error, so yeah, let's go edit those quickly. But just before that, Spencer Knight's obviously going to be getting some X factors too. He is like 2 5-star categories here with like his recovery, rebound control, low glove, like angles. He's a very, very solid goalie. His athleticism, which was supposedly his highest thing coming out of the draft, is the lowest rated in the game. So there's EA's accuracy for you. But yeah, apart from that, let's add those X factors and see how the chemistry improves. All right, so with Puljujarvi, although he's listed as a sniper, we're going to give him no contest and quick pick. That's it. That's all he gets. I know he's 87 rated. Well, maybe we stick one more on there, go like off the rush, because he does like to just fire that thing sometimes, like slap shot down the wing. So let's do that for Puljujarvi. After that, Paul Stastny probably should have like tape to tape kind of thing. Probably, yeah, tape to tape third eye for him. I am kind of trying to base these ratings and X factors off of just the basis of, like, you know, you're 85 rated, you get 2 X factors. You're 83 rated, you get 1 kind of thing, like stuff like that. So Yamamoto, let's see, what do we do here? He's quite quick actually. So how about like elite edges and 93 agility is insane. Elite edges, and I kind of want to give him shrug it off just so he doesn't get murdered all season long, because otherwise he kind of does. So yeah, let's give him, yeah, just elite edges, shrug it off. That's it. So that'll definitely help with his performance and not getting hurt and just playing better as a player. So we'll do those 2 on him. Holloway, Kulak are fine. Broberg is literally just going to get shut down, I think. That's about it, but of course that will definitely help. Actually, no, we could give him Heat Seeker too, just because we know he's gonna get better over the season. Like, that's just how it's gonna go, because he's gonna be playing a lot of minutes and things like that. So give Broberg those 2. Dumoulin just shut down, and then that's pretty much it apart from Spencer Knight for X factors. And you know, this will just improve the team chemistry overall and make everybody play better. So all right, and then of course for the goalies here, Spencer Knight is just an absolute unit. So I don't know why Florida was willing to give him up so easily. Oh no, the equipment didn't change over. All right, let's just get in here quick, add some team equipment to him to make him look better. All right, so there we go. Spencer Knight's looking a little bit better now there. I don't know if we're going to give him a zone ability just yet, because he's not like 90 rated, but let's see, what are going to be some of his strong suits? Obviously dialed in, because his angles are just crazy. Probably sponge, post to post, and last stand, and maybe like, I don't know about whirlwind, but maybe just like I don't know which one kind of like screams like really solid angles. Tip jar maybe, or X-ray. Yeah, okay, so we'll load him right up because he is 88 rated. He's not 90 rated yet, but he's getting there. So yeah, Spencer Knight's going to be one hell of a goalie. That was a great acquisition during the offseason. I think that'll help. So that is the team. Let's just go in, show you guys the power play and stuff like that, and then we will get into the season sim. Alright guys, so for the extra and special teams this year and everything, the first unit's a +5. We got Pavelski playing center because his faceoffs are honestly just as good as McDavid's. Probably not quite as good as Draisaitl's, but Draisaitl will still somewhat be in front of the net and can line up for that 1T. Pavelski's got big tipper, so he's got to go in front. +5 on the first unit. Second unit, we got Stastny playing center just based on the best faceoffs out of the group. Holloway on that left side shot, Kane in front to bang in rebounds, and of course Puljujarvi, and Barry over on those right side kind of handling positions. As far as 4-man power play, you guys, it looks about as good as it can get, and then a +3 on that second unit. That's really about as good as we could do this year for this team. Again, feel free to pause if you want to take a longer look at each kind of unit here. The first penalty killing unit is amazing. The second one's all right. There is 0. And then, of course, the third one also a 0. So we just got to be careful with those second 2 units. PK, 3-man PK 1 is good. 3-man PK 2 is okay. And 3-man PK 3 we are going to avoid altogether if we can. So that is pretty much it for lines here. I don't really want to spend too much time on these just because they do take a little bit of time out of the episode for really just simple kind of team management here. But yeah, obviously this is still important to just know what we're working with to see the results before you guys actually see them. So yeah, as far as the AHL goes, I'm not quite as worried. We got some crazy good lines down here still. The defense is kind of all over the place, so we're just not going to mess around with it too much. Power plays should turn out pretty good. I think we've got a really good group here, except for maybe, let's do that. That'll be better. But yeah, like as you can see, the power plays are definitely lining up well. It's really more so just a matter of like, hey, are these guys actually going to be able to score and convert and do all that stuff that we're, hoping they will. So let's get Lizen in there. That'll probably help. Yeah, just a little bit. And then I don't know why Hamblin or like Fogel's in over like Lizen. I guess the lines were kind of made up before Lizen got into the team, so that would make sense. Boy, okay, the PKs are going to be terrible, but that's something Bakersfield's going to have to deal with over the year because I'm ready to get to the season sim here and not really waste too much time on it. So, all right, there you have it. All right, we are good to go. So let's get into this season sim. Should be a good one, and I will be back with you guys probably at the end of the season, but if we have like a big trade at the deadline or something like that, obviously we will stop it up. We did end up trading away Darnell Nurse last episode, so Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is now wearing an A. I mean, obviously we should have other guys like, obviously guys like Barry or like Pavelski, players like that probably could be wearing A's too, but we just don't have the option to do. That's something EA's missed on for like 2 years now, is 4 alternate captains instead of 2. Like, you should have 4 alternate captains. That's just realistic to the NHL now, because multiple teams have like 4 alternates and a captain. It's like, why are we only allowed 2 still? The other thing is this is the Aaron Kiviaru draft class this year. Obviously, he's going to be a ridiculously good defenseman, but I don't think we stand any chance of getting him because I don't see us trading away players or prospects or anything like that. Maybe, further down in the draft, we do end up trading up for like a late first or something, especially if there's like a really good goalie like Frolov or somebody in here that like actually makes sense for us to pick up. But at the moment, I'm not really seeing anybody yet. We will wait and see what happens with that. And then for team ratings this year, we are looking at, in Bakersfield, 75s across the board there for offense, defense, and goaltending. Not going to lie, the Bakersfield jerseys look really... Oh, these look hella good. They look really good. So, yeah. Anyways, that is that. The Calgary Wranglers jerseys aren't in the game yet, so they look kind of dumb. But that's okay. So, anyways, that is our AHL team. 75s across the board. And then heading in against the Vegas Golden Knights here in Game 1. We are looking at 99 offense, 90 defense, and 86 goaltending. And, yeah, that should be solid enough to at least get us into the playoffs in like a top 2 kind of position. So we'll see what happens here in year 2, but I will be back with you guys when something exciting happens in the sim or we get to the end of the regular season. All right, guys, so this season, the Edmonton Oilers go 46, 29, and 7 for 99 points, and they finish 6th place in the NHL. So not actually a bad season, but overall, the team was it was a bit of a down year for the team. Like, I was really expecting like a President's Trophy potentially in the cards here, and I mean, 6th place isn't bad, but we're like not even one of the top 2 Canadian teams in the league at this point. Like, Toronto and Calgary are ahead of us. So yeah, as we get into the rest of this here, who is the worst team? Actually, you know what? Toronto's not done yet, so they might actually. I mean, they've guaranteed one, but Montreal, Nashville, San Jose and LA were kind of your 4 worst teams. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, this is the Aaron Kiviaru year. Who knows how good he's going to be. I am actually just going to advance one more day here because, you know, Matthews might end up scoring more. A couple guys might end up scoring more. Obviously not our players as the season's done, but let's take a look here. So, Joe Pavelski scores 86 points. So he breaks that 1,000-point threshold, so that's pretty amazing. He's been well over a point per game the whole time he's been an Edmonton Oiler, so that is awesome. Draisaitl just under a point per game, not great there. Holloway makes a big jump this year, though, going from 44 to 73 points. Apart from that, Barry repeats, putting up 66 points in back-to-back years for the Oilers, so that's really good. I think Hopkins improved. Actually, no, he got a little bit worse. He had 74 last year, so that was a really good year from him. Stastny scores 58, Puljujärvi 49, Bouchard 48, Kane scores 26 goals, which is probably like 3rd place in team goals. Oh, tied for 4th, okay. So yeah, Kane scores 26, not a bad year from him. Kyler Yamamoto matches last year, but is on kind of a downward trend there. Tyler Benson, not a bad year at all. He only put up 2 points in 29 games in Edmonton a couple years back. So yeah, he's looking a little bit more NHL ready now. Apart from that, you know, Broberg kind of struggled, only 16 points throughout 78 games. I thought he was going to be better, and unfortunately was not. Dumoulin and Kulak were all right. Costin, McLeod, same kind of thing. And then as far as our goalies go, Spencer Knight only won 33 out of 61 games, so that's not spectacular. 905 is all right, but again, he should have probably been better at an 88 overall. Stuart Skinner was all right, actually, 13 out of 28. Again, it's not great, but he did get a shutout. And yeah, looking at the whole league here, I mean, 110 points for McDavid. It's not even close. Wow, that's yeah. Matthews scores 125 and 66 goals. Like that is absurd. All right, so yeah, Matthews easily gonna win your Art Ross this year. That's crazy. All right. And then most goals, of course, goes to him. Most assists goes to Teravainen. And look at Hedman and Makar in here. Oh, my God. Those guys can dish the puck. All right. So, yeah, there you have it for kind of your best players. As far as rookies go, Stankoven scores 71 points in his rookie year. Oh, my God. That is a hell of a year. But he's a good player, and we know that. Shane Wright, Connor Bedard, both pretty good, but, like, Bedard not as explosive for Philadelphia as I kind of thought he was going to be. Apart from that, Koivunen, you know what? Koivunen as a 2nd-round pick is looking pretty good there, 35 points. And yeah, that was about it. Yeah, most goals Stankoven, followed by Bedard, and of course Stankoven just blew everybody out of the water rookie-wise. Goalies, Matt Murray is going to be your best goalie this year in Toronto, of course. Toronto winning so many games. Vasilevsky wins 40, though. And yeah, very, very good year from the goalies here. And then as far as D-men go, Makar scores 84. Just over a point per game is still just absurd for him. He's right at a point per game throughout his career by 25 years old. So he's having a hell of a career. So yeah, that is your NHL. As far as moving over to the AHL goes, our team goes 37, 27, and 7. Lots of 7s throughout there, which is kind of funny. So guys, looking at the AHL this year, Henderson is going to win the, I don't even remember what the award's called right now, but apart from that, Bakersfield's going to finish 13th in the league, so not bad there, but Iowa's going to make it as the 24th seed. That is insane. All right, it's a bit of a weird one there with Iowa, but they somehow make it. Xavier Bourgault leads our team along with Warren Fogle. With 49 points throughout those 72 games. Perunovic was really good. Hamlin was good. Ryan, Petrov. Like, there's a lot of good players here. 36 points for Helton, and he shot up a little bit. I would have liked to see better growth from him. Edward Sale was all right, too, growing about 2 or 3 ratings, putting up 33 points. And then Maxime Lizin grew 4 ratings, only scoring 32 points. He had 116 penalty minutes, so Buddy has essentially 86 disciplines, a weird one. So maybe he's just, really playing hard defensively. That's what I would assume. And yeah, that's kind of exciting to see the growth there from Lizen anyways. Goalie-wise, Picard was all right. Same with Rodrigue, but, Rodrigue was probably the better out of the two there. Rookie skaters. Sale was good. Lizen was actually better in my opinion as a, he was plus 14 despite having all those penalty minutes. And yeah, as far as the entire league goes, we had a bit of a weird league this year. 73 points for Oscar Bach is going to win. Tied with Grunstrom is going to win the, the Solenberger there. And rookie skater-wise, Tuamala was really good from Calgary. Apart from that, goalie-wise, Aiden Hill wins 32. That's a pretty solid year. And defensively, Friedman is going to top out Beichl and Levy and quite a few other decent name players there for best defenseman in the league. And as far as goals go, Oscar Bach is also going to lead the league in goals. So that is the AHL. That is where our team's sitting. I believe Bakersfield is going to make the playoffs here. And they will be taking on Henderson, so that's going to be rough. We're taking on the Calgary Flames. And all right, we're right into it with the playoff series. Toronto, New Jersey, and a couple other teams here are really off and rolling. All right, so let's get into this. The Calgary Flames are going to be an interesting team to play against. Obviously, they are a very good team. You don't make the playoffs without being a good team, and Hubert Ho's up to a 95 at 30 years old. So, yeah, they've got a pretty solid, deep team here in Calgary. Hannafin and Anderson are kind of your top two on the back end there. They've built a really, really solid team here overall. And yeah, like Henderson and Shillington, a couple picks apart. That's just amazing. They are supporting Ian Cole, which is not so great, but that's all right. And then goalies, Markstrom and Ladar in net. So we literally just got to shut down one line. I think that's how this series is going to work. If we can do that against Huberdeau and Kadri and those guys, then I think we'll be fine. We've got a much deeper forward core, as well as I think our defense is better too. But, I mean, we'll wait and see. Obviously, if Spencer Knight can't win, that's going to be an issue. But, yeah, we've got to take out Calgary. We can't have another round one elimination like we just did last year. That's not going to be acceptable this year. So let's get to it. Let's see what happens. I'm not so worried about Bakersfield because Henderson, of course, won 51 games. They were outstanding, but we should be able to beat the Calgary Flames. So game one against Calgary. In Calgary, we lose 4-2. Not a great start to the series. And how did it go? Okay, Bakersfield won 4-2, so not bad. All right, into game number 2. We're going to lose Brad Malone and Bakersfield to a sore shoulder, but we're going to blow out the Calgary Flames 6-0 and go up 2-0 after beating Henderson 2-1 in game 2. So Maxime Lizen's having a year. That's what we like to see. And headed back to Edmonton for games 3 and 4 now. Let's see what happens. And we're going to lose game 3, 3-2. And we are going to lose 4-2 to Henderson on home ice. So maybe there's a home ice curse. I don't know what's going on here, but we need a win now. So into game 4 in both series here. And we are going to win 5-2. All right, we tie the series up 2 apiece. That is good to see. And we are up 3-1 against the best team from the regular season here. James Hamblin is playing out of his mind right now. 5 points in 4 games. Draisaitl 8 points in 4 games. So yeah, we've got some pretty good players going right now in the playoffs, but we need to win these next 2 games here, especially against Calgary. So into game 5, Henderson could be eliminated here. We'll see what happens, but game 5 against Calgary, we lose 2-1. Oh no, but we do knock out Henderson, so we at least have some kind of playoff action. This might not be Stanley Cup playoff action here, but let's see what we can do. So into game 6, backs against the wall, facing elimination. We need a huge performance here from the boys. How have our other lines been doing? Because if this line's not doing well, okay, 4, 6, and only 2 for Holloway. That's not great. 6, 8, and 1 for Bully RV. Oh no. Oh no. All right, we're going to toss Kane up for Holloway, and then Holloway onto the second line. And hopefully that can get things going a little bit better here, because Draisaitl's been good. Hasn't had a lot of ice time, but we need something to kick in and get moving here, because this is not great from my perspective here, that we're potentially going to be knocked out in 6 to Calgary, especially when we were knocked out in 6 last year to Vegas. So we need to make some improvements here. So all right, so into game 6 here. Let's see if we can stave off elimination here against the Calgary Flames. First period, it's a 0-0 game. We outshoot them 11-9. Second period, it's a 2-2 game. All right, we're going to jump in and just watch this because this could very well be the end of our season. It's going to be a CPU versus CPU game here. And, well, should be an interesting one, but I honestly think we are a way better team than the Calgary Flames. So, game setting wise, we are going to just bump this right up to Superstar. Audio visual wise, we are going to go with a true broadcast, and I am going to sit back and commentate this. I definitely want to turn the commentary off as well. All right, so I totally clicked CPU versus CPU game. I want to play as the coach. All right. I don't think it saved any of my settings either. Great. All right, so let's get into this. Game 6, third period, 2-2 game here in Edmonton at Rogers Place. Can the Oilers hold on, or is Calgary going to finish them off here? So here we go. Third period underway, and McDavid's going to win the draw back to Dumoulin. Dumoulin up to McDavid, and he does lose the puck there. Now Peltier looking for a pass. He's going to send it down the middle, but Mata cuts it off. Now going the other way, Tyler Benson going to get poked, but Broberg picks it up. Here goes Philip Broberg cutting down the wall, looking for a play. He cuts back into the middle. Broberg fires, rebound, scores, short-handed goal. Tyler Benson, not the team you would expect to score on the short-handed penalty kill there. But a very huge, good, well-worked goal there from Broberg and Benson to get this game tied up. That's what we like to see as Edmonton fans. The Oilers take the lead. Benson moves up the scoring a little bit, and man, that is a good first half of the penalty kill. Now we just got to hold on and not give up a goal on this power play. All right, now Kane finds McDavid. Here goes Connor McDavid down the wall. Connor McDavid walking through, just about found it, but didn't quite finish off that move. Oh, now McDavid strips back onto the puck. Chance in front, and McDavid scores! Hopkins getting the shot in on net. McDavid finding the rebound, and Markstrom has no chance on that one. Second goal tonight, fourth of the playoffs. Connor McDavid doing everything in his power to keep this series alive. What a play. He makes the check on the wall. It goes right to Nugent-Hopkins, and then the shot is back in, and Edmonton goes up by 2 here late, so it is very likely at this point that we are looking at a Game 7, but Calgary still not down and out yet. Face off here, it's going to get dumped in. Broberg hit pretty solidly. Huberdeau front to Mangiapane, great chance, but Kadri couldn't bury the rebound. Now Mangiapane absolutely laid out in front of the net. Hopkins going to skate into space. Hopkins over. Oh, he just missed the pass. Otherwise, that would have been a breakaway, essentially. Now Draisaitl looking for a pass. He's going to send it in right into Markstrom. Oh, turned over to Holloway. What an absolute bobble there. Holloway sets up Hopkins, and we are up 5-3 after that one. My goodness. Like 5-3, it might be 6-3 now. That is just a bad turnover. Holloway finds it, and yeah, Hopkins just standing there all alone in front. Yikes. So yeah, there you have it. Hopkins moving up the list here. Matching McDavid, it's 5-2. Sorry, I thought it was 5-3 for some reason, but this one is essentially over. And we will head to a Game 7. The Edmonton Oilers stay alive for another game of the playoffs. And my goodness, was that ever a close one. There you have it. Big celebration after the game. Spencer Knight gets the job done, only allowing 2 goals, and my controller died. So there you have it. We get outshot 35-31, but Edmonton just finds the back of the net more. And really, this series is going to continue. So, as we advance up to what will now be Game 7, we get Brad Malone back for the Bakersfield Condors, our captain, of course. You want Malone in the lineup always. Honestly, defensively, we probably could have Maxime Lizen up in the team playing in the NHL over probably a guy like Olimata or somebody like that, or even Ronnie Attard, but I want to just see how far these teams can each go without us changing too much of the roster. So let's get into this. So here we go, into Game 7 of Round 1 of the playoffs. We want to get a win here. We start off up 2-1, power play goal from Kane, and then Dumoulin even strength. We get outshot fairly heavily, 14-9, but we are up in this game. So into the second period, it's a 3-1 lead as Joe Pavelski converts on the power play. Make it 3-2 right off the bat, though, as Connor Zary finds the net for Calgary. And we are heavily out shooting the Calgary Flames after that second frame now. So really, as long as we can hold on, we give up a power play, but it doesn't convert for Calgary. If we can hold on, this series is over. And there you have it, Tyler Benson with the insurance marker. Make it 4-3, though, as Jacob Pelletier doesn't let the Flames lie down just yet. But there you have it. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Calgary Flames in a 7-game series here to move on to round 2 to likely face off against what I would assume is going to be the Anaheim Ducks. And it is, as they do beat the Seattle Kraken, as the Ducks were one of the best teams in the West this year. All right, so looking at the rest of the NHL playoffs, this round is over as we will face off against Anaheim. Vegas will face off against Minnesota. We will likely see, well, Toronto as the President's Trophy winners. The curse continues as they are eliminated in 5 against New Jersey, and the Leafs continue. I mean, I guess they did win the Cup last year. Or no, they didn't. They only made it to round 2 last year, so Toronto is still struggling playoff-wise. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we kind of are too. We did make it past round 1 this year, so that's good. But really, overall, it's still been dicey in the playoffs. We haven't had any very solid, sturdy, like, no confidence rattling kind of wins. Like, all our wins have been borderline not winning. So, yeah, this team is really working on its character still. So, anyways, the team's in great shape. Both teams are in, honestly, phenomenal shape, in my opinion. Maxime Lizen is just a machine so far through the playoffs, 5 points in 5 games. And, well, we'll see who we face off here against next. It looks like it is going to be the San Jose Barracuda in the Calder Cup playoffs here. So heading into round 2 of these playoffs here, we'll take on the Anaheim Ducks. Let's just take a look at their lineup here. Anaheim, pretty solid team. They did really, really well throughout the season despite not having the strongest team ever. I guess having some very solid players like Klingberg, Drysdale, guys like that, that's definitely helping with how they're playing. I mean, Mintyukov is up to an 82 as well, so he's probably adding to that a bit. But when you've got Gibson, they're missing McTavish, so that probably doesn't help. But with John Gibson in net, anything's possible for your team. So let's take on the Anaheim Ducks here in round 2, and of course the San Jose Barracuda in the Calder Cup playoffs. So game 1 of both series, we're going to lose Broberg to a sprained ankle, but we are going to beat the Anaheim Ducks 4-2 in game 1. We're also going to win 4-3 in OT. So game number 2 for each series, we're going to win 5-3 in the NHL, and we're going to win 4-2 in the AHL. Very solid performances from both teams yet again. Game 3 now, and we're going to lose Evan Bouchard to an injured shoulder, so that is not good either, and we're going to lose 6-0 in that series, but we are going to win 7-2 in game 3 here of the AHL playoffs. So let's get some roster moves going here because our defense obviously was not good enough. Yeah, Craig Smith can't be playing on that top pairing. That just doesn't work like that. Like, we can't keep doing that. So we'll go Attard, and I mean, man, how long are these guys? These guys are gonna be out for a while probably. So I think now is the time we call Maxime Lizen up. He's so ready. He's 6 points in 8 AHL playoff games. Like, we need this guy now. So let's pull him up. Hopefully he's not the only reason why our AHL team is doing well, but I do think he's definitely been contributing. So Grunovich with like Desharnais, Razin with Kesserling, and we should have, yeah, we've got Wanner down here, or Wanner, however you want to say his name, with Kemp. That should be all right though. And all right, let's get this team figured out up here. All right, so we'll Mata down, Assard over, and then it's got to be Lizen coming in here. So Lizen still gets the chemistry. That's good. What if we put him? Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Maxime Lizen will step in, of course, for what is gonna be Evan Bouchard. So, all right, here we go. Game number 4 now of the both playoffs. We could potentially see a San Jose Barracuda sweep here tonight, but I probably just jinxed it. So, game 4 for both series. We're going to lose again in the playoffs. Anaheim injuring our defense is obviously proving to be an asset for them, but we do sweep the Barracuda in what has been only a 1-loss playoff run so far. So, into game number 5 here, and of course we need, we get Bouchard back. All right, that's good. So we had Lizen in to just play that one game, but I think we should probably send a guy like Suter down. I think that would make the most sense, just to keep this lineup kind of balanced. We haven't needed forwards up to this point. So, Boston sweeps New Jersey. Very good on their part. Columbus up 3-1 against Carolina, and we're tied 2 apiece in the West here. So, into game 5. And we're going to get a draft class review. Cool. All right, and we will get Philip Broberg back after this game, so that's good. Are you kidding me? Are we really doing this with the chemistry BS here? Like, come on. All right, that actually works pretty well. All right, so Bouchard should be back anytime now. But after that game, we are going to win 7-1. Oh my goodness. We absolutely thrash the Anaheim Ducks in that game. And all right, let's get into game number 6 here, where we could eliminate the Ducks. First period, down 3-1. Not a good start, as we give up 2 power play goals right off the bat. And then Draisaitl does get one back, but then Zegras makes it a 2-goal game. Second period, it's a 3-2 game. Come on, Edmonton. You guys got to get back into this. I mean, we are up, so we're not facing elimination yet, but we will be next game if we don't tie this. And Gerlu ties it there, or Gerlu, however you say his name. But 4-2 game here. Edmonton 34 shots in the game. They don't get any shots for like a couple minutes here, and really it's too little too late from the Oilers here as we head to another game 7 in these playoffs. So Edmonton really making it difficult here on themselves, but I mean, Columbus and Boston are already through. It's down to 4 teams left in the West that who knows how it's going to go. So, all right, at this point, I think we're going to probably take Ali Mata out of the lineup here. He's going to be our weakest defenseman overall, and I'm just trying to get some kind of chemistry here. So let's see how Bouchard looks in here. And all right, chemistry's not great there. If we swap Lizen, nope, this is just not working today. All right. We can't have zeros across the board. Like, that's just not gonna work for me. So, all right. I mean, we have 2 88 rated D-men, but they're also probably our least sound defenseman. Oh, well, that's why I accidentally subbed the wrong guy. I'm like, why is the chemistry just stopped working here? That would be why. All right, so I'm okay with Broberg and Bouchard together. If we put Lizen up there, it doesn't really change anything. So let's get into this next series. But the AHL playoffs will continue as Grand Rapids moves on. Let's see who else moved on here. All right, so it looks like Cleveland, Bridgeport, and Grand Rapids are going to be the other 3 teams left in these Calder Cup playoffs, but we're going on a run here today. So into Game 7 now, and of course, this is do or die. There's no other option. That's what's so exciting about a Game 7. Let's see how we do. So, first period, down 3-1. Ouch. Just a terrible start. Adam Henrique scores 2 goals on essentially no shots. All right. Second period, this game. This is over. We're done. We're done here. 4-1. Klingberg ends the series. Like, that's it. Edmonton only makes it one round further. Oh my God, this is utter humiliation now. 6-1. We can't stop anything tonight. And Anaheim is going to confidently win this game. Like, seriously, 28, 29 shots. We run into a hot John Gibson, score 1 goal in Game 7. And that was, wow, that was utterly atrocious. So, there you have it. We're done. We're done. Our season is done, not our series. And yeesh, just yeesh. All right, so just to, kind of fix up the team, hopefully help Bakersfield out a little bit here, we are going to send Lizen down just for now. And he should definitely help with the AHL there. So, all right, so we get Lizen's help there for a little bit in the AHL. And let's just see if they can actually beat Grand Rapid here as we finish off this season. So, into the next 4 games, if they lose all 4, I'm going to be a little upset. They split them 2-2. All right, not bad. All right, up 3-2, and does Bakersfield move on? Well, we're going to lose Lizen to a concussion, so probably not here. And nope, we're going to lose 2 games, 3-2 in overtime in a row, and Grand Rapid and Cleveland are going to move on. So that one definitely hurt, just based on the fact that, we probably would have won that series had we had Maxime Lizen in the lineup. But instead, nope, we'd lose it in 7 games. Cleveland's going to move through in 6, and there's your Calder Cup final matchup. Minnesota and Vegas both move on. Minnesota beats Vegas to move on, and then Minnesota and Anaheim are both tied. Really, in what is not going to be... It could go either way. This could be either team series here, but Columbus makes pretty light work. There's so many glitches in this game. Like, why is Grand Rapid and Cleveland in the middle there when it should obviously be Columbus and then waiting on the other team? But yeah, Columbus makes it back to the Stanley Cup Finals here in back-to-back years. They've really made their mark as a team. So anyways, we'll see who wins that, but we got to get some scouting done here. All right, so let's sim ahead to the draft here. Of course, Lizen's going to be back right after the playoffs are done, because why not? That's just how things work, and it kind of sucks, but that happens. So, all right, honestly, not a bad year. We did a little bit better, but Columbus and Cleveland, oh my goodness, the Columbus Blue Jackets organization just had one of the best freaking seasons I have ever seen. Out of a simulation, that is insane. My goodness, Columbus wins their 2nd cup in 2 years, beating out Anaheim in just a 4-2 series. My goodness. And then Cleveland also going to move through to win, and they sweep Grand Rapid. Wow. All right, so this year for player awards, they're going to get dominated by the Leafs, as Matthews wins the Art Ross, the Hart, Hedman wins the Norris, Marner wins the Lady Byng, Stankoven gets the Calder, Voracek gets the Conn Smythe, Markstrom is going to get the Vezina, as well as the Jennings with Vladar there. Jack Johnson going to win the Masterton. Downing, or Seattle's coach, wins his 2nd Jack Adams in a row. Sidney Crosby gets the Selke this year. Austin Matthews gets the Lindsay. And, of course, Matthews also gets the Rocket. In the AHL, Sullenberger goes to Bach. Bellows is going to win the Cunningham this year. Bach, of course, wins Willie Marsh too. Bachisel is going to win, or Bichisel, however you say his name, is going to win the Red Garrett. He's also going to win the Eddie Shore, so rookie and best defenseman. That's insane. Craig Anderson gets the Baz. Archibald gets the Butterfield. Brandon Peary going to get the Hunt. Martin there going to get the Yannick Dupree. Schmidt going to get the Hap Holmes. And that is your AHL awards. All right, so as we continue on to the draft here, I think I kind of have my players picked out. Nashville's going to win Aaron Kiviaru and get another absolutely insane, franchise-level defenseman. Obviously, they have Yossi already, but he's getting older. Winnipeg's going to move up from 5-2, Montreal from 1-3. San Jose, of course, moves down, and everybody else behind Winnipeg there moves down. So those are your lottery teams this year. All right, so for retiring players this year, we're going to see Louis Eriksson, Milan Lucic, Shea Weber, James Neal, a bunch of ex-Oiler kind of players there, quite a few anyways. Jack Johnson retires, Patrick Maroon, Big Pat. All right, interesting draft class retiree class this year. We're going to see Schneider, Darling, and Poulin for goalies retire. All right, so for coach retirees, we aren't going to see any of our coaches go, which is good because they were actually pretty decent this year. A bunch of retired players are now going to become scouts, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, overall, honestly, I do want to show you guys the draft class just because I got to talk to you about this Grigorenko guy. I don't know if you want me to necessarily go for him. I think we're going to wait until the next episode to kind of do the draft here because I want to hear your feedback on this guy. But like, he is A+, almost, well, at least A's across the board apart from physicality. He is a little small, 5'9", and lacking size, but his system fit would be great with this team. It would fit pretty much everywhere. And I've never seen a Russian 18-year-old score so many points in the Russian league. Like 37 goals, 28 assists, 65 and 56, 23.9 shooting percentage. That's insane. That means like almost 1 out of every 4 shots he takes is in the net. That never happens. Like this guy is going to be special in my opinion. I think he might actually have the potential, well, not the potential, but the opportunity, if we ended up drafting him, to be better than Kiviaru, which is saying something. So that is, I think, what we're looking at here for draft class and that kind of stuff. Overall, I kind of have some players picked out, but it is looking like a bit of a weaker class this year. I really want this Jankowski guy too, so maybe we swing a deal to get him because we don't have a pick until like the end of the second round kind of area. Like pick, I don't know, like 60, 56 or 65 or something like that. We're going to be somewhere in there. So, yeah, I would love to go for this Grigorenko guy, though. If you guys think that is a good idea, let me know. I mean, Toby James here as well. Looks like he's going to be a heck of a playmaker. So there are options that we can pursue. Jankowski, I'm guaranteed going for. I don't even care if you guys want him or not. We're going for him because he's power forward with at least X factors and 6'5". Like, he looks really good, and I would love to have him in our team. Apart from that, you know, maybe we don't go for James if we're going for Grigorenko, but yeah, like Vyacheslav Grigorenko would be one heck of a player if you guys want me to go for him. So anyways, that is where we're going to wrap this one up. In the next episode, we'll get to the draft, the off-season, setting up the team, all that good stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications. Also, leave comments. I want to hear your feedback on Grigorenko because it will get featured in the next episode. But that is it for me. This is Etanyos signing out, and until next time.